Before we start today's video, check out our merch shop, linked in the description down below. Use code Ahsoka in all caps to get $7 off your order. May the Force be with you, and enjoy the vid.
Hello there.
This is where the fun begins.
What's up guys, Unofficial Star Wars here. Hope you're all doing well, and in this video we have an exciting new reveal for The Mandalorian. We're gonna go ahead and hop right on into it. In this video we are going to be taking a read from the Direct's article. I'll have their article linked in the description down below for you guys to check out there as well. The Mandalorian star who plays the armourer, Emily Swallow, admits that she'd been disappointed if one fan theory did come true in The Mandalorian Season 3. Now, not only are we going to be talking about this new insights and behind the scenes reveal of The Mandalorian Season 3, but we're also going to be discussing a little bit about The Mandalorian Season 4 for what this is going to mean in anticipation and expect to see for the future of The Mandalorian show with its 4th season overall, so stay tuned for that there as well. Emily Swallow, who portrays the armourer in Disney Plus's The Mandalorian, had recalled one fan theory from Season 3 of the hit show that would have disappointed her if it did come to fruition and actually happened. Throughout The Mandalorian's short history, there have been numerous twists and turns at every level, from the revelation that Din Djarin's bounty was a member of Yoda's species, to the fact that Moff Gideon had successfully cloned himself. Due to the tension between the Empire and the Mandalorians on screen, many fans have cooked up their own theories during Season 3 of the show in hopes of figuring out what would end up actually happening by the end of the season finale. And so, in a recent exclusive interview with the Direct, the Mandalorian star Emily Swallow, the armourer, was asked about the popular Season 3 theory that her character was actually a spy working for Giancarlo Esposito's Moff Gideon villain instead of the unwavering leader of the Mandalorian covert that the show had built her up to actually be. When asked if she had actually seen those fan theories herself and what they were saying as the final few episodes of Season 3 were airing, Emily Swallow had stated that they thought that she was a spy. Yeah, I definitely did see that. Emily Swallow then recalled that the days following the premiere of Season 3, Episode 7, which was when the theory caught fire throughout social media, the episode before the finale with Episode 8, and had revealed that fans even came up to her at one of her conventions, looking at her at the side of their eyes, you know, kind of giving her that questionable look. She says that, in quote, "I was confronted with that. I've been doing a lot of conventions this year, and I was at a convention that weekend after the episode had aired, and almost everybody came up to my table. They were kind of looking at me out of the side of their eyes. They were like, 'Can we actually trust you?'" Ending that quote right there, into the regards of her character into The Mandalorian, of course, being very playful about it. I just love that bond between the fan community and the actors, especially of the Mandalorian actors. That's not a diss to any of the other actors and their other Star Wars projects, but the Mandalorian actors have something special with the fans, and that's something that I really, really love. On one hand, the actress had talked about how that theory was so fascinating to her, and that it actually made her question if she knew what she was actually going to do and what was actually going to happen in the finale of The Mandalorian Season 3, which is honestly pretty funny. I was like, oh wait, did I actually record that? Like, what do we actually record again? I don't remember what happens. She says that, in quotes, "And I was so fascinated to me on so many levels. I mean, first of all, it made me question whether I knew what was actually going to happen in the finale of Season 3, because people were so certain that we had shot it for a year before, and so I had to come up to my husband and I said, I've got to look at my script for the last episode again. I don't remember there being anything that would have suggested I did turn to the bad guys, but maybe they had me shoot fake scenes, like I didn't know. You hear about that happening." Ending that quote right there, making her question her own sanity, is honestly hilarious. Like her going back and rereading the script, like, wait a minute, did I turn to the bad guys again? I don't really remember. However, on the other hand, Emily Swallow did admit to being surprised to how much personally she took it, due to the armourer being a character of such integrity. She then talked about how she felt the audience would have reacted if that theory did come true, and how it would have ultimately been so disappointing at the end of the day. She says that, in quotes, "But then it was also, I was surprised as how personally I took it, and not because it hurt my feelings as Emily, but more because of this character is somebody of such integrity, and it seems to me that she cares so completely about her people, the covert, more than she does about herself. And I felt like it for them to cause a character like that to turn would be sort of a gut punch to the audience. Sure, it would be exciting and thrilling, but to me, it felt like it would have been just so disappointing." Ending that quote right there. Emily Swallow also had stated that the theory was very telling of how the audience and viewers now views their heroes, and that they're gonna let us down inevitably. She says that, in quote, but it's also then, on another level, it's just very telling to me of what we have come to expect of our heroes, or the caution that they have in the way that we feel. Well, they're gonna let us down inevitably. She's probably not a good guy. No big deal. Ending that quote right there. Really just into those regards and those thoughts of like, is this really how the viewers kind of, well, view our characters? Like, do they really not trust us like that? And to be fair with you guys, I mean, she did banish Din and was kind of a villain there for a moment by season 2 and throughout the book of Boba Fett. Not necessarily a bad villain like Moff Gideon, but we weren't necessarily rooting for her all that much. The Mandalorian actress acknowledged that some of the fans still don't feel like that they've seen all of it, the armorer, largely due to how mysterious she kind of is, and that there are all sorts of theories out there, and that is a very true thing. The armorer as a character is very mysterious. That's a great way to describe her overall. She says that, in quote, so it was fascinating, and it continues to be so, because there's still people who they still don't feel like that they've seen all of her. I think because of how mysterious she is, they still think, oh, well, there's something, dubious about her, or we're gonna find out that, what she actually is. I don't know. Darth Maul had reincarnated or something like that, and people have all sorts of theories. I mean, that quote right there, it is really a great way to describe her, as I had mentioned. She's just very mysterious as an overall character, and for the fact that we haven't seen all of the armor, like we don't know her backstory, I think is the big thing. In another interview that we did cover here on the channel, Emily Swallow also revealed of how she would love to see the future of the armor in The Mandalorian Season 4 expanded upon a little bit more, with giving her more of a backstory, like with flashbacks, like how does she meet Din Djarin, or what are the connections between Din Djarin and the armor, like how do they meet, and with flashback sequences pretty much is something that she had kind of hinted at. No, I don't necessarily think that's something that we, like, as a confirmation would see for The Mandalorian Season 4, but I think it is a great idea. And maybe she is hinting at the idea of like, hey, we would probably see this, because she has probably maybe, read through her script by now, as they are planning to shoot and ramping up for pre-production, filming, and production for The Mandalorian Season 4 in early of next year, January. So they will be shooting by then, so they have probably done like table reads and have like read the script a couple of times as well. So this year all being said, which side is the armor really on? At the end of the day, she does seem to be a part, and hold her word of being a part of the Mandalorian people, and being for the covert, much rather than the Empire, who did destroy their home world, Mandalore. And so, after many fans have come up with many different theories that the armorer would be revealed as a villain by the end of Season 3, and would actually have been working for Moff Gideon and the Empire the entire time as a spy, the finale instead proved that she is fully committed to the Mandalorians and the idea of rebuilding their civilization on Mandalore. While it is true that anything could happen in the future, Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni have seemingly created the Mandalorians' characters to have consistent motivations and goals at that. It's just the idea of that the armorer is, well, quite mysterious. When specifically looking at the armorer herself, as Emily Swallow said, she is a character of such integrity, and that is something that does play out ever since we meet her in Season 1. That it seems as though a change in alliances would have been something used for shock value, or not something that would have been all that beneficial for the overall story itself, which would in turn be a little bit disappointing. Fans have to also remember that the Empire did destroy Mandalore, their homeworld, as I had mentioned, which is why that the covert was forced into hiding in the first place. As if that wasn't enough, the remaining people, the armorer, were then targeted again in Season 1 of The Mandalorian, and she still stayed strong in her beliefs and efforts to bring justice to her people. Going forward, the armorer will likely not only be a faithful ally to Din Djarin and anyone else in the covert, but as the Mandalorian Season 3 finale also proved, she will now fight for other Mandalorians if it means coming together for the greater good. This year all being said, guys, let me know all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below with everything that we've discussed here in today's video. I would love to hear what you guys are all thinking. Thanks so much for watching today's video. Of course, this has been Unofficial Star Wars. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great one. May the Force be with you as always. Peace out.